capable team. We were one of the few teams that were able to beat them during the Silver League season, so this should be lots of fun.
All right, it should be lots of fun. You see the two team rosters up there. Callus leading C'est La Vie. We got Ho Ho Ha Hee leading Gong Fu. Battle number 1 is going to take place on Himmelsdorf. Randall, what do we have for tanks?
For tanks, we're looking at 3 AMX 5100s and 2 IS-3s for the side of C'est La Vie. On the other side, looks like Kung Fu has 4 110s, 2 NC-31s, and a T1 Cunningham. I think someone may have readied up the wrong tank. There's a little miscommunication there for Kung Fu.
It's a lot of 110s.
Yeah, but the thing is they've got an extra little tank. Kind of confused that they would bring a T1 that... Yeah, that's just weird. Okay, it must have been a miscommunication. But
it's 7 tanks.
Yeah.
And they're at 42 tier points.
But I want to talk about...
Or 35, actually.
I want to talk about the new additions to C'est La Vie. Right now, I'm following Rella, but Dopper is another new player. And I asked if he had approached C'est La Vie or if C'est La Vie had approached him. And a Dopper approached us, said Callus. He was looking for a new environment to play in. It was a very pleasant surprise to get a new member of top-level Gold League team approach us of his own initiative, and we're very excited to have him with us. As I say that, I've jinxed him, and he's died on the 8 line. Strong push out of Kung Fu to take the center of the map. It looks like West Control is going to be going to C'est La Vie. Commodore taking a little bit of damage and not able to return that at all.
No, Kung Fu is taking no damage. Well, right when I say that, Ho Ho Ha Hee takes a shot to the front in his 110. And he's waiting for Lord Rekneps to appear around the corner. Commodore takes out Shuma King. And that's going to leave a T1 down for Kung Fu, evening it up the amount of tanks still alive. And but the tier points are still in the favor of C'est La Vie.
Easily. Right now, T1, another one goes down, but Ho Ho Ha Hee is able to bounce a shell. However, the cover fire on him is so strong. You've got Germany and Yorigami actually able to cover him, along with Terry Loves Shooting Your Bird, moving up to try and cover that position. Damage being traded out, but this is a really long-range fight. Rella getting some good damage.
Ho Ho Ha Hee's still trying to play that corner game. Back out and take a look at the 2 tanks that are playing that damage. And Germany, Y is gone. Yadogami takes a bounce hit to the front, readjusts his position, and tries to get a shot. He does against Lord Rekneps.
Oh, Rella is only able to track Terry Loves Shooting Your Bird, as it looks like there's going to be a split push coming up from C'est La Vie. IS-3 goes down. Ho Ho is able to open up the flank of C'est La Vie. They need to make a move immediately. Commodore could bring this one back, but he misses a shell that was so crucial for them.
DX Max, can he penetrate at all against Bao Bao? Fires and misses. Tries to get another one. It's a bounce. But here comes Ho Ho Ha Hee. He gets a nice shot for 311 against Bao Bao, but Bao Bao is reloaded, it looks like. No, that was Commodore that took the shot. Terry Loves Bird gets the kill. And it's 3 against 1 against Commodore.
Yeah, it looks like Big Cheese was out of the fight for the longest time, and he's going to be able to deal plenty of damage, but I don't think Big Cheese did much of anything up until this point. He may have actually been disconnected or AFK. Puts a nice shot into Yorigami and finishes it up.
Big Cheese still out of the fight for the rest of them, though, because the surround is coming on Commodore. But no, Big Cheese from behind gets a nice shot on Terry Loves Bird. And he takes down DX Max. Oh, Ha Hee, the last one alive for Kung Fu, is going to be up against 2 of the tier 8s from C'est La Vie. And he falls from Big Cheese. C'est La Vie takes battle number 1 on Himmelsdorf.
No big surprise there. They were down to tier 8. I think a little miscommunication on their side led to that. They had an extra T1 and they were sub one of their tier 8s. But they still did a fantastic job with those 110s. Plenty of damage going out. Ho Ho Ha Hee actually stands out with 10 for 10 shells. Every single one pens, every single one connects for 2,636 damage.
Wow.
That's
very well played from that 110. Very well played. 110 being a Chinese manufactured tank with some variants from the IS-3. And Kung Fu, a lot of their members are Chinese Canadians. And so that was pretty cool to kind of see that representing, because I love American tanks. Some people love the French tanks, but I also love some of the Chinese tanks.
They're very cool. The 110 is actually just a very interesting tank because it's similar to the IS-3 because it still has the Shuka. Yeah. But the thing is, it doesn't have that big 122 with that kind of performance the IS-3 does. It also has 50 more hit points. It doesn't have the space armor. It's like the IS-3, but like they took some parts out and then we're like, you know, we don't want that. We won't want this. Let's put a faster reloading gun. 100 mil's fine. It's a cool tank. It's hard to implement just because of the way the game plays.
The Next battle is going to take place on Ruinberg between these two teams. And I want to talk a little bit more about Doppler. Some people say, why would Doppler want to leave his team? Well, in some environments, it can be completely healthy where you're at, but you feel you want a change. You want to go somewhere else. You want to interact with different people because you can grow at a different rate, or you can have a different experience outside of what you're used to. And it's a tough decision to make for anyone to do that, especially, if you fit right in with the rest of your team. So when Doppler approached them, I can only guess to what he was thinking, but it's more of, well, I want to change. I want to see what it's like with another team and take what I've learned from the previous team I was on, apply it to this team, and vice versa. And again, being a tough decision to make, there's still a lot of benefits as long as he can bring the same amount of consistency and hard work to where he's at.
Yeah, we'll have to see how he performs. He is going to be playing a T1 for C'est La Vie. But battle is about to begin. Ruinberg, battle number 2.
And what do we have for tanks, Randall?
For tanks, 2 AMX 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and a 1390 for C'est La Vie. On the other side, Kung Fu has fixed that lineup they were going for. All Chinese, 4 110s, a WZ-132, 2 NC-31s.
There's the difference. A consistent fire light tank with the fast traverse speed, jumping on over to the WZ-132. There's Germany Y.
Oh, well, I have to see how it stacks up against that 1390. Burst versus consistent fire. And what gun does that WZ-132?
Let's zoom in and find out. It's the one without the break at the end.
It's the 100 mil. All right, he's going to be going for Alpha on this, and he may actually be able to find Callus as he crosses into the middle road. Callus taking cover, kind of senses that something might be up, and is going to get into a nice high ground. He may be able to put out plenty of damage here, and also detect anyone moving around on the west side. He spots Ho-Ho, lines up, misses the first shell, and is forced to back away. If he doesn't watch out, though, Terry loves shooting a bird, and Shum may be able to get some damage, and that 1390 does not have a lot of hit points. Oh, and there's a connection from the middle. It looks like maybe Lord Ragnips was able to make a connection onto Ho-Ho, taking him down to 1178.
Checking out his tank where he actually took the hit. I don't see it yet, but it was to the front. There it is. Right there is where he was able to penetrate.
Oh, and Doppler's gotten himself a little bit cut off, getting too aggressive in his T1 Cunningham, and is now pinned, unable to escape. A shell misses onto Doppler, and he's going to be able to climb just a little bit, but I don't think he has much time left before someone can come hunt him down. Looks like Ho-Ho's going to be moving up for him. But if backup does arrive on Doppler, this could be a very clever trap from C'est La Vie onto Kung Fu.
Hoahi is the furthest north in the 110. He's able to scout Bao Bao to the left, so is the one light tank cruising up the 1-2 line.
Well, Germany takes 391 damage in order to find Doppler. He lines up a shell and does finally kill Doppler. Doppler worth all of 1 shell and plenty of intel against Kung Fu.
Commodore took a hit from Hohahi. He's going to fall back a bit with that reverse angle. No shots will return, and he's going to use this cover to try to watch any more tanks heading towards the 1-2 line down that B stretch, on that Bravo stretch. The rest of Kung Fu are a little bit spread out. In the city side, the majority of C'est La Vie are to the north past their flag cap, and it looks like they're pushing down now.
Yeah, and Rella is covering the F road, and it does look like Kung Fu is getting pinched in that area. 1390, I think, holding his shells as long as he can before unloading at close range. Rella not able to make any connections yet, as the Shuka of those 110s is incredibly potent.
Hohahi takes a shot to the front. He's about to fall. 672 in that volley. Who gets the kill? Is it Big Cheese? It is. Hohahi's the second tank to fall here. But the rest of Kung Fu are lining up. It's Shuma King and Terry Loves Bird. Shuma King down for 1021 in that volley. One more shot and he's going to fall. Terry Loves Bird needs to get in front of him and share that HP.
At the same time, Commodore is taking on Germany. Germany may be able to get the final shot to get the kill, but if Commodore is reloaded, he may be able to do it. Germany looks reloaded, and he bounces. Commodore able to get the kill up north against the WZ-132.
Terry Loves Bird took out Big Cheese, but there's revenge. Lord Reknaps falls. They're going to have to push Commodore super low.
But it looks like Callus is coming up in the backfield. That 1390 should be able to take him down unless he turns around and is expecting it. He is turning around, but his engine looks damaged. The shell barely doesn't finish him. And a bounce from Rella. Callus is able to get the kill. Rella not performing all that well today. He's bouncing so much on these 110s. There's finally a connection, and they may be able to take down Terry.
One more shot, he will fall. I think Terry Love's Bird might have hit the rear of his own teammate earlier on. I'll have to check after the battle for the scores. Callus and Rella line it up.
They're reloading.
Wow, they both are reloading. They're going to have to get out of there quickly because Yatogami can take out Rella in in 2 shots.
Maybe, but
at
Bao
most.
Bao in the south is on the cap. He's got 1 minute and 28 seconds. And Rella's playing Ring Around the Rosie.
Yata still on the chase against Rella, but Rella's moving quickly, not stopping whatsoever. Probably less than 30 seconds on his reload time.
It's actually interesting how this lineup managed to work out fairly well. No autoloaders on the side of Kung Fu, and yet they managed to take out numerous tanks. Now it looks like Callus is loaded. He gets the shot.
And he gets the kill. And all tanks are down for Kung Fu. C'est la vie takes battle number 2 on Ruinberg. And jumping on your point a little bit more, yeah, it's impressive when, even though these teams are having fun, we don't see these normal type of lineups because of the choices of other tanks being the better choice overall for the strengths that they bring. It's fascinating to see the results because if perhaps they had a couple IS-3s or 5100, it could have been a different game altogether.
Yeah, the thing is, those 110s did perform so well. I'm going to point out that Rella was sniping out 110s as much as he could, but the thing was, he wasn't able to get all that many penetrations. The Shuka on that 110 is so strong. And the thing was, he fired 12 times that battle, but only connected and penned 5 times out of those 12. 2 of them were misses, but 5 of 10, 50% of the time he was actually able to pen the front of a 110.
Mm-hmm.
That just shows you where this tank belongs, at decent ranges, that Shuka pointing straight at your opponent, and you're going to be bouncing shells, which is something very rare in this league because everyone is firing APCR and heat. So you've got the best penetration possible, and almost no one should ever bounce, but there's players like Rella, who I know are exceptional, unable to perform when put up against a tank like that.
Yeah, this preseason match allows a lot of these players to get the jitters out, to get some practice in a real live broadcast setting, which they haven't had in quite a while. And some of them, the last time they've been broadcasted was back in February during our post-season pretty much wrap-up, either the tiebreakers, the playoffs, or they actually made it to our finals for Season 3 in San Francisco. Now, we talked about Callus being the leader of Wreak Havoc when they took down Fnatic. Could this team that he's formed together with C'est La Vie, could they take down Fnatic?
I actually believe that Callus had something to say about that. And yes, and when we asked him, can you defeat Fnatic again with this roster? He said, it's a tough question to handle. Do I believe in my team? Absolutely. But it's hard to predict the outcome of any battle. All sorts of upsets occur in World of Tanks all the time. So my answer would be, I believe my team can take on Fnatic. But you never truly know until the match occurs. One thing is for sure, though. It should definitely be an exciting match to watch if it happens.
I would love to see that matchup. New team on the block versus the veteran champion Fnatic. Even against Simph, we got to see that. Battle number 3 going to take place on Prohorovka. What do we have for tanks?
For tanks, we're looking at a T-32, 3 Object 416s, a T-69, and 2 T-1 Cunninghams for the side of C'est La Vie. On the other side, Kung Fu has brought 2 110s and 2 WZ-132s, along with those NC-31s. They're going with a theme today. Chinese tanks.
Chinese tanks. I like it. I like that theme. I like the nation-type themes from what we saw yesterday of Simple Tankers with the British tanks. I don't know if we saw any other all-nation tanks. Well, yeah, all T-32s and the T-1 Cunninghams. We saw an all-American tank.
We saw an all-British lineup.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that one. The British lineup actually won. Very interesting to see that. We also saw a complete British match with the Togs, but maybe that doesn't count.
Oh, it counts.
Oh, it counts?
That was super British.
Okay. Well, in this opening lineup, I'm actually going to point out the light tanks for Kung Fu, giving them so much mobility. The 110s, they're okay. Especially on proc, they're not going to excel that well. They don't do well in hull down. They have good DPM, yes. The Shuka's pretty good, especially when you're taking on tanks at range. But this 416 I think might be the tank able to undo these. Callus takes a shell.
Big hits. 2 hits for 560 damage. He's going to fall back. I like the amount of Object 416s here, but they need to get past the 110s. That's going to be their biggest obstacle.
Yeah, it's a matter of flanking, I think. They need to get good angles on their opponent, and then they will be able to perform. But just like last battle, if you're at range against that Shuka and it's pointing straight at you, you're going to have a hard time, especially with heat. All of these tanks, the Object 416s and the T-69, their gold is heat. And you can see just now how some of those shells bouncing off Yotogami are not able to pen simply because of the amazing angles of those Chinese tanks.
Well, he was able to get another shot into Callus, a shot and a bounce off of Callus's turret. He's low. He's at 465 HP. Trying to get a hit on Yotogami, but it comes from either Flaming Panda or Big Cheese.
One of those 416s out there is able to make a connection. They're all just so sneaky. That's what they are. Looks like Flaming Panda and Big Cheese were the ones on the top of the hill. Rella's a little bit lower. They're still firing, still trying to make those connections. There's so much DPM waiting to happen, but not quite able to connect yet. There's a few connections. Now Terry is actually going to be switched too, as he's focused a little bit. All these 110s being peppered a little bit here and there.
Commodore, he is in the T-32, pushed up a little bit. I'm surprised that Object 416s are not moving from their position, since you have Callus and Commodore that can hold this spot at least for a little while. The scouting information is not happening for Kung Fu. If those Object 416s can get the flank on these 110s, they can outmaneuver them completely.
Oh, speaking of outmaneuvering, it looks like the T1 in the south, Lord Rachnips, was taken down by Ho-Ho Hahi, and Ho-Ho is able to get into the backfield now. A push from C'est La Vie is imminent, I would think, because...
Oh, it's happening. It's happening right now. They're pushing up against the 110s. Flaming Panda takes the lead, but he gets tracked and turned to the side. That's not where he wants to be, but Rella and Big Cheese are not going to push forward. Camdor and Callus can use this window of opportunity as the turrets are going to break from Kung Fu as they continue to try to pummel into the Object 416s, but it's not working. Yotogami's about to go down, and he does from Big Cheese. Shuma King is now going to get targeted, and there's 3 tanks surrounding him, 4 if you count Doppler from behind. And they're going to unload against this beast of a tank, the 110.
Yeah, just great DPM there out of each and every one of these tanks. You cannot stand up to that when one of your tier 8s is all the way in the south. Now, Germany and Ho-Ho might be able to do some work, but there's so many hit points left, I don't see a way that they could do it.
Germany Y, from far away, is now the next target of C'est La Vie. Ho-Ho Hahi gets a kill.
And
Rella super low on HP.
He misses Rella. Rella barely able to escape. And now it looks like they've found Germany. They're going to jump on him. He's going to get into a defilade, but Ho-Ho is not able to make any of the crucial connections he needs to in order to turn this battle around.
Rella is at 2 hit points. If he hits a tree wrong, he would fall, but he falls to Germany. Now it's up to Cam, Adore, and Callus. Nice initial shot from the T-32. The T-69 tries to line up. Now he may be reloading. Oh, and a missed shot from Germany. And Commodore accidentally kills Callus.
Cannot believe it. You have to watch your shots. And he's able to finish him off finally. But Ho-Ho has a place in this match now.
Commodore takes a shot from long range. Ho-Ho Hahi.
Oh,
no.
They're team killing. That was completely deliberate. Big Cheese just threw it. He doesn't want to end this. He want to keep fighting. Now Big Cheese is probably going to let himself die, I guess. Ho-Ho. They want to take this to battle number 5.
Or maybe they want this to be a one-on-one.
A fair 1v1, sure.
Fair 1v1. It's quite possible. Well, again, this is an exhibition. This is a skirmish, so this doesn't count for any points. It's only for bragging rights, really. Oh, Big Cheese may get it. Ho-Ha, he turns. And Big Cheese gets the kill. Chen Baiyu, last one alive for Kung Fu, trying to go for the flag cap. All the way to the south, but... here comes Big Cheese 256.
Yeah, that was kind of cute. C'est La Vie making that 1v1 happen.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get it at first, but now I understand. Now I get it.
I don't know if that shot from Commodore was intentional or not, but if it was really bad timing if that was a real match. If this was a match in the actual league.
Yeah, for certain. But I think they just wanted that 1v1. My kill. You can't have it. Yep. T69 says, I'm going to be reloaded in a sec. Don't worry, guys.
Don't team kill, bro. Yeah. And then he's like, don't kill steal, bro.
Or just Big Cheese being like, hey, watch it there, buddy.
Here comes Big Cheese. 1 tank left. Lines it up.
He's going to farm those defense points. Got to get your XVM up,
looking straight up, and he gets it. And C'est La Vie is able to take the series 3-0. against Kung Fu. Fun match between these two teams. Nice to see a full nation set of tanks here.
Yeah, it was certainly cute.
Yeah, it's cool to see. It's cool to see.